Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again to this dojo thing, space meta dojo. It is going to be the third one of these I'm doing, in which I'll be reading meditations number 5 and 6 of Anthony de Mello's The Way to Love. It is the way to love, because it is the way to interrogate honestly the input-output structure of your mind. And that's incredibly salient, because we all want to find the way to love, and this is part of my process. In early experimentation in staring at a camera and speaking what feels true. This is the time when I have to try to do this. And so here I am, and I'm so grateful, oh God, for your presence, for your kind patronage, for your attention. We're gonna get this. I got this stupid. Got this, you go on Amazon, you buy things, and it's like a meditation thing. You meditate on it, and it's stupid. It collapses. Just go to the left, you fall to the right. Go to the right, you fall to the left. So I'm going to read one and comment on it, and we're all going to sit and feel what it's doing to us. Then I'm going to play a song. And then I'm going to read another one, and that will be our time together today. The first meditation I'll be reading is the fifth one, and it is called Nowhere to Go. Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. This is Matthew 8:20 for those of you who care. Here is a mistake that most people make in their relationships with others. They try to build a steady nesting place in the ever-flowing stream of life. Ever-moving stream of life. Think of someone whose love you desire. Not that hard. Do you want to be important to this person? To be special? To make a difference to his/her life? Do you want this person to care for you and to be concerned about you in a special way? If you do, open your eyes and see that you are foolishly inviting others to reserve you for themselves, to restrict your freedom for their benefit, to control your behavior, your growth and development, so that it will suit their interest. It is as if the other person said to you, if you want to be special to me, then you must meet my conditions. Because the moment you cease to live up to my expectations, you will cease to be a special. A special. Has an E before special. I do not know this word. Anthony de Mello does. You will cease to be a special. You wanted to be a special to someone, didn't you? So you must pay a price in lost freedom. You must dance to the other person's tune, just as you demand that other person dance to yours if they want to be a special to you. Pause now and ask yourself if it is worth paying so much for so little. Imagine you say to this person whose special love you want, leave me free to be myself, to think my thoughts, to indulge my taste, to follow my inclination, to behave in ways that I decide are to my liking. The moment you say those words, you will understand that you are asking for the impossible. To ask to be special to someone means essentially to be bound to the task of making yourself pleasing to this person, and therefore to lose your freedom. Take all the time you need to realize this. It will take me a while to realize this. A very long while. And I'll probably realize it and forget it many times. Maybe now you're ready to say, I'd rather have my freedom than your love. If you could have either company in prison or walk the earth in freedom all alone, which would you choose? Now say to this person, I leave you free to be yourself, to think your thoughts, to indulge your taste, follow your inclinations, behave in any way that you decide is to your liking. The moment you The moment you say that, you will observe one of two things. Either your heart will resist those words and you will be exposed for the clinger and exploiter that you are. So now is the time to examine your false beliefs that without this person you cannot live or cannot be happy, or your heart will pronounce the words sincerely, and in that very instant all control, manipulation, exploitation, possessiveness, jealousy will drop. I leave you free to be yourself, to think your thoughts, indulge your taste, follow your inclinations, behave in ways that you decide are to your liking. You'll notice something else. The person automatically ceases to be special and important to you, and she becomes important the way a sunset or a symphony is lovely in itself. The way a tree is special in itself and not for the fruit or the shade that it can offer you. Your beloved will then belong not to you but to everyone or to no one, like the sunrise and the tree. Test it by saying those words again. I leave you free to be yourself. In saying those words, you have set yourself free. You are now ready to love. For when you cling, what you offer the other is not love, but a chain by which both you and your beloved are bound. Love can only exist in freedom. The true seeker seeks not the good of his beloved, which requires especially the liberation of the beloved from the lover. I must read that final sentence one more time. The true lover seeks the good of his beloved, which requires especially the liberation of the beloved from the lover. It is my request of you that you live and are as you see appropriate, and that you reflect that back onto me. In this unconditional state of loving each other opens up the possibility space of, well, I suppose, having one's cake and eating it too, in a sense. No, I take that back. You're definitely giving up some kind of cake, but it is the cake of attachment. Kitty cat. Okay. So there's the first meditation on demanding others be the way we want them to be so that we love them. This is how we are built, and this is not something that disappears itself very easily, but it is something to see through if you're able to, and to observe around you as a means towards just want to say increasing your freedom doesn't quite capture it, but I will let you stew on what's going on in Anthony DeMillo's wonderful heart mind as you deem appropriate. This song is called Pullup. Help me to die. I've said my piece and I don't wanna say it twice, let alone 1,000,000 times, and the walls have eyes. So should we choose to go on this roller coaster ride, same ride every time, some friendly advice. I'm just a hungry ghost, but boy will I play nice if you play nice. Backroom deals on tiny lifeboats likely to fail unless we bail, 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 bail. eyes. Must I remind you, dear, that every moment's right, not just in pure delight. And now we're past a decade. We did what we thought was good, and it passed just as it should. It passed just as it should. Backroom deals on tiny lifeboats, likely to fail unless we yeah, that's a song. It is a meaningful one for me. Kitty, come here and join me, Kitty. You wish you could see this cat. He's such a cute little animal. Such a cute, needy little animal. Probably not a bad way to describe the aspect of self represented as the character requesting help dying in the song. And, well, I feel disinclined to comment on the energetics and meaning of that song for me at the moment. But I'll try anyway. It represents duality of personalities. And there is a hungry ghost in all of us and in me. And it does not satiate. And its stomach grows as you feed it. And it is often at odds with one's more lofty feeling ambitions towards greater connection and affection and affecting in the world. And the process of evolving to be the kind of person who will turn on a camera, put themselves in front of it, and bumble their way through a embarrassed feeling rendering of a shitty song is part of the process. To become this kind of person takes getting to know yourself or something. For me it does. Boy, I'm feeling a lot of feelings and not a lot of words today, which is a shame because there are moments when an incredible and verbose loquaciousness erupts naturally. And sort of alchemically transmogrifies the internal feelings into some sort of conceptual net that feels like it holds what's happening. And today that's not what's happening. But that's okay. The song has been played, the first meditation has been read, and I am so deeply excited to bring you the second meditation. And I haven't even mentioned this beautiful high definition 4K Benjamin y'all are getting over here. Posture, 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 posture. Bring in the pour. This is a good one. I meant to not pre-read this, but due to the inevitable, not inevitable, but the reality of technological mishaps. This is not the first attempt at this. So the first one I did, I read it fresh, which is really beautiful, and I think a good way for me to do it. Going forward, I would like to be reading these new along with you. I like the energy of that. But if you don't make sure your memory cards got the space, it won't record the thing you do. Okay, the householder in anger said to his servants, "Go out quickly to the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in the poor and the maimed and the blind and the lame." That is Luke 14:21. Think of someone you dislike, someone you generally avoid because her presence generates negative feelings in you. Imagine yourself in this person's presence now and watch the negative emotions rise, okay? I got my person. Who's my person? Somebody I really don't like. An old customer or something. It's like my least favorite. I really like it. I really do like everyone. It's hard for me to think that. Somebody who just can get my... I got it! I got someone who gets my goat. Okay. I got it. Okay. Negative emotions arising around Adam. Whoops, I said his name. He was an old customer. Just the worst at years of just saying one thing and doing another. I mow his lawn, and he responds to my requests for payment over and over again with, "Yeah, I got you this Wednesday," for 7 months. And he does this for 8 years because I'm a slow learner, and it takes me a while to realize that it's a beautiful thing to voluntarily bow out of a voluntary relationship when it is not working for you. Okay, so I've got my negative emotions, and they're feelings of just overwhelm and confusion and disgust, and I'm thinking about how he drives in his super fancy car to give me $50 of the $90 he's owed me for 7 months. Yeah, man, easy to dislike. So I've got my negative emotions. I've got all my stories. Okay, so I'm quite conceivably in the presence of someone who's poor, crippled, blind, and lame. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I can put the lens of seeing the wounded child and the mate signaler at the center of this person's lack of integrity towards me. So for sure, I'm in the presence of someone who's poor, crippled, blind, and lame. Okay, now understand that if you invite this person, this beggar from the streets and alleys, into your home, that is, into your presence, she will make you a gift that none of your charming, pleasant friends can make you, rich as they are. He or she is going to reveal yourself to you and reveal human nature to you. A revelation as precious as any found in Scripture. For what will it profit you to know all the Scriptures if you do not know yourself, and so live the life of a robot? I know none of the Scriptures, except for the ones in this book and the Old Testament. They got a lot of that in my head. The revelation that this beggar is going to bring will widen your heart till there is room in it for every living creature. Let's try that again. The revelation that this beggar is going to bring will widen your heart till there's room in it for every living creature. Can there be a finer gift than that? No, there cannot be. Now take a look at yourself reacting negatively and ask yourself the following question. Am I in charge of this situation, or is this situation in charge of me? This is the first revelation. With it comes the second. The way to be in charge of the situation is to be in charge of yourself, which you are not. How does one achieve this mastery? All you have to do is understand that there are people in the world who, if they were in your place, would not be negatively affected by this person. They would be in charge of the situation, above it, not subject to it as you are. No doubt. Therefore, your negative feelings are caused not by this person as you mistakenly think, but by your programming. Here is the third and major revelation. See what happens when you really understand this. Having received these revelations about yourself, listen to this revelation concerning human nature. this behavior, this trait in the other person that causes you to react negatively. Do you realize that he or she is not responsible for it? You can hold on to your negative feelings only when you mistakenly believe that he or she is free and aware and therefore responsible. But whoever did evil in awareness, the ability to do evil or to be evil is not freedom but a sickness, for it implies a lack of consciousness and sensitivity. Those who are truly free cannot sin as God cannot sin. This poor person here in front of you is crippled, blind, lame, not stubborn and malicious as you so foolishly thought. Understand this truth. Look at it steadfastly and deeply, and you will see your negative emotions turn into gentleness and compassion. Suddenly you have room in your heart for someone who is consigned to the streets and alleys by others and by you. Now, you will realize that this beggar came to your home with alms for you, the widening of your heart in compassion, and the release of your spirit in freedom. Where before you used to be controlled, these persons had the power to create negative emotion in you, and you went out of your way to avoid them, now you have the gift of freedom to avoid no one, to go anywhere. When you see this, you will notice how the feeling of compassion in your heart has been added, the feeling of gratitude to this beggar who is your benefactor. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. How do you look at people if you just see them that way? You're like, eyes on all of God's children attitude. Wait. Sure. I'm sure of something. Very little, actually. Alright, let's finish this up. When you see this, you will notice how the feeling of compassion in your heart has been added to the feeling of gratitude to this beggar who is your benefactor. And another new, unaccustomed feeling, you actually feel a desire to seek out the company of those growth-producing, crippled, blind, and lame people, the way someone who has learned to swim seeks water, because each time you're with them, where before you used to feel the oppression and the tyranny of negative feelings, you can now actually feel an ever-expanding compassion and the freedom of the skies. And you can barely recognize yourself as you see yourself going out into the streets and alleys of the town in obedience to the Master's injunction to bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind, and the lame. So, there's so much to learn in our discomfort. I wonder how the framing of this was. Probably pretty weak. Maybe pretty beautiful. Okay. Thank you for the joining of me. I'll see you next time. A lovely, lovely friend.